There's someone out there.
What the heck?
I'm gonna go check it real quick.
Let's keep the shit out of me.
If no one realized, my dad was standing outside of the window, but we didn't see him. It was just a shadowy figure walking by. Do you want me to check it? I'll just open the blind. Noah's playing frisbee golf right outside the window. I'm taking a photo of this.
That was like the creepiest thing I'd ever.
We were actually on the roll too.
Oh my god! I was like, what the hell?
You're like freaking out. I'm like, oh, it's probably just my brothers. It's fine.
No, I'm glad that freaked you out too.
I was like, why are we freaking out?
And then you saw it.
This is my daily life, okay?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to the first episode of Binger's Anime Edition. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Ouran High School Host Club. We're not going to be really talking about our daily lives in this one, since we just, recorded.
Yeah, you just heard us like an hour ago talking about our life, maybe. We'll see. Who knows? Whatever.
We'll figure it out.
For all you listeners out there that are tuning in for us for the first time, thank you. Please listen to the first episode.
Yeah, thank you all for whoever is tuning in right now.
Yeah.
Y'all. Oh my
Y'all.
gosh, like it really brings out that I'm
we
from
never talked about where
the
we're
South.
from. So, or how we know each other. God, we just skipped right into everything.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that, or? I mean, do I want to talk about? I want to talk. I want to talk about my personal life. Do you want to?
Do you want to?
I'm okay with it. I don't mind it.
I mean, yeah, we can.
All right. So if you couldn't tell from our awful accents, we are from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yay!
From a little part in Oklahoma towards up top towards Kansas
Or northeastern.
or
if you wanna use
northeastern.
Directions.
I do not know my cardinal directions.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
fine.
sorry.
It's fine. I was like, you mean northeastern? Because people don't know where Kansas is. I don't know where you guys are listening from. Let's be honest. It's just
If
going to
you
be our
don't know where
friends.
Kansas is like I could say like not knowing where like Delaware is, but like
I have a friend from
but
Delaware. I need her to listen to this just for this comment.
like if you don't know where Kansas is smack dab in the middle of the United States. If you
I
don't
thought
know,
Oklahoma was in the middle of the United States.
no, Kansas is.
We'll look it up later. We'll hit you up with some geography in the next episode.
This is actually turning into a geography podcast,
Yes,
not an anime
let's
podcast.
change it. What should the name be? Geography podcast. Wow. I'm not good at names. It took us forever to come up with this name. I just came up
What
with
would our geography podcast be called? Crazy
no.
for Rocks.
Crazy for Rocks. Rocks for Jocks. We're not jocks. Why
Rocks
did I
for
say
jocks.
that? That's what one of my advisors in college was like. You should take geology because it's rocks for jocks. Blah blah blah. And I was like, my mom and I were literally like, oh, LOL, and she was like laughing so hard. And this woman's like the most terrifying woman I've ever met in my life. Like,
No, my roommate, she's absolutely obsessed with rocks. Like, I swear if she like wasn't a mechanical engineer that she would be a geologist.
Molly and I are from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. It's awful. It's very small.
It's okay.
It's not awful for Oklahoma standards, but for the rest of the world,
I wouldn't say that I would want to stay in Oklahoma though.
yeah, I'm hoping to venture out, see the world, explore.
Do different things.
After the coronavirus is over, we can finally travel again. Whereas I was supposed to go to Asia this summer, and
But yeah, I know when you said that you were going to Japan, like you were like, oh, what should I bring you back? And I was like, my dude, you're going to the land of anime. Just like bring me something back
bring
anime.
me something weeby, okay?
Fuel my weeb fire.
Honestly, I'm very upset about it, but I don't know. I'm bummed out, but also like I do not want to be traveling there right now with everything going on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad, and it's also gives us the opportunity to do this. Like I honestly, if this did not happen with the coronavirus, I don't think we would have ever done this.
We would have never taken the first steps to actually
We're
do
just
this.
so bored, so
Yeah.
bored, and I've watched too much anime to not do something like this.
Too much anime. No, I was like talking to my roommate the other night, and I was like, I've never watched so much anime in my whole life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I could literally hear her cringe through the phone, you know?
That sounds like your roommate.
Yeah.
I know. I love her though. She's
Yeah,
great.
she's pretty awesome.
She is a pretty
She
great
puts up
roommate.
with my weebness.
See, my roommate and I are like super weeby together. It's great.
I know.
It's great.
Like, you guys are probably like two of my best friends.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Remember that time when you almost moved in with us?
No.
It was like one day. It was a brief thought.
It was like a brief thought that never went to like fruition.
Actually, no, she was never going to move in. I don't think that was
yeah.
ever serious.
I was always going to live with my roommate that I have now.
I was under
So.
the impression we weren't getting a third roommate, and then Sean just
You really wanted me to move in, though.
I was
you guys
like,
really wanted me to.
yeah, I was like, can you please move in because I don't want to pay this much rent.
Also, like, we can weeb out together all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. We haven't hung out that much though. Well, obviously, but like even at the end of last semester, we weren't.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing we should probably clarify. We're both in college while doing this, so
Yeah, we are both college juniors. And
yeah,
so
we're not going to talk about our age, but you can pretty much figure that out. But I'm an architect major.
I'm a microbiology major.
I hate my life. It's
Yeah.
awful. I hate studio.
I like what I do, but you know,
Me too. I love it.
slight hesitation in your voice.
It's fine. I love it.
But no, I really like what I do. Like, it's kind of, I'm going to be honest though, that like, if I wasn't a microbiology major, I would probably be like a photography major.
Yeah, if I could.
Two different ends of the spectrum. We got the science and then we got the like arts.
Right. You're just complete opposite sides. I don't know if I wasn't. I don't know what else I would be if I wasn't an architect major. I do enjoy it, even though it kills me slowly.
When
but
I found out that you were going to be like an architect major, it took me very much by surprise.
why?
Like, I did not think that would.
What did you think I was gonna do?
Honestly, didn't know. But like, an architect major just was not what I had in mind.
Did you think I was gonna go music performance or something like that?
Probably something like that, you know?
What? I'm not. Like, I was big in music in high school and stuff, and I still am, as we talk about the music and anime a lot. But like, I don't know. Well, now I'm kind of like gonna have to rethink my life choices right now. I know I'm kind of.
Well, it's not anything bad or anything that I'm saying, but it just wasn't something that I pictured for you. But then again, like our freshman year of like college, we weren't that close yet.
That's true.
We weren't as close as we are now.
Mhm.
But
We're friends.
yeah.
Oh, I never thought we were. I just
Question mark.
we're just doing a podcast together and
We're just two acquaintances doing a podcast together because
fine,
we have
you
a
know.
similar interest in anime.
complete strangers. We found each other on like social media.
We found each other on Reddit.
Reddit, a Reddit feed. Oh my, I need to get on Reddit and stuff. I'm very uncultured, guys. Like, it's bad. Like,
You are very uncultured.
it's so bad. Like, I lived under a rock my whole life. I still have never been on Twitter. I've never been on Reddit. Like, it's bad. I'm surprised I even watch anime, to be honest.
Yeah. You missed out on the great memes on Reddit.
I still don't
Anime
understand
memes.
memes. I'm sorry, guys. I don't understand memes. I don't understand TikToks. I don't understand Vines. Well, I understand Vines now. I just watch those on YouTube.
But didn't you just see Vines for like the first time within the last year?
Yeah, I definitely did.
You are
fine.
so sheltered.
I don't know. I'm also just really, really busy. Like,
That's true. Yeah, speaking of, everyday life, high school, let's get into Ouran High School Host Club.
yeah. Do you just kind of want to give a general synopsis? Do you want to?
Yeah, I can just give kind of like a general synopsis. We'll start off with, of course, we have the main character, Haruhi Fujioka, who is, by every standard in the anime, poor and, using Tamaki's words, a commoner.
I love Tamaki.
I love Tamaki too. Haruhi Fujioka goes to this very elite private academy called Ouran, where only really rich and, famous, beautiful people go.
Well, I feel like Tamaki says it best. Do you just want to just read what Tamaki says
Yeah,
real
I
quick?
can definitely. Only those with excellent social standing and those from filthy rich families are lucky enough to spend their time at the elite private school, Ouran Academy. The Ouran Host Club is where the school's handsomest boys, with too much time on their hands, entertain young ladies who also have way too much time on their hands. Just think of it as Ouran Academy's elegant playground for the rich and beautiful.
I love that so much. It sums it up so well.
It's so funny. But definitely, this is the daily life of Haruhi Fujioka, somebody who got into Ouran Academy on a scholarship, and just her daily life after she breaks a vase, and has to pay back a debt. She starts working at the Ouran High School Host Club to try and pay back that debt, and this is just her life, pretending to be a boy, and being a part of a host club.
Which I feel like that is the interesting thing about Ouran High School Host Club is that it's a reverse harem. It's
a reverse harem, gender bender.
Yeah, it's like this one female character that is followed around by 6 guys, which is the complete opposite.
But that's the very much appeal to it.
Yeah, it's the appeal, but it's not. It's also that the main character is such a independent woman, but also that she grows because of these guys and vice versa. So it's just very interesting how her character is and her development.
It definitely, it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
it's very fascinating.
You see from like the very first episode to the last episode how much these characters change.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just putting Haruhi in the middle of it that ignited that change.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do you want me to kind of talk about the production information real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and talk about the production information.
We'll just edit it to the beginning.
Yeah.
So, Ouran High School Host Club is a rom-com drama, I guess you could.
Drama,
it's
slice of life.
Yeah, for sure. And it was produced by Studio Bones, and it came out in 2006, so it's a lot older. But
it's more than 10 years old.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, but like it's a very fresh anime. Like like you said, it's like it's a gender bender. Like it's literally a reverse harem where it's one female character and 6 guys that are around this female character, which is so interesting, and it kind of flips that stereotype upside down, and it's just very, and even now the visuals and everything is still very refreshing in my opinion.
No, and I think that's just the very big like appeal to like reverse harems is that the watcher tends to put themselves in the position of the main character,
which I feel I love the characters and stuff.
I mean, who wouldn't want 6 guys fawning all over you?
Right. Well,
right?
I mean, I wouldn't even say they're fawning. Then it's not one of those type of shows where each character is trying to get with Haruhi. Like
no, but they all have some sort of connection where, in a sense, they do fawn over her.
They fawn over her, but it's not like I want to be with Haruhi. It's not that type of anime.
There's like really only 2 characters in the whole mix that actually have a thing for Haruhi.
And like that's kind of what I've heard a couple complaints about it, because it is a rom-com because the host club entertains women, but there's not really a romance comedy between any of the major characters. Like there's a couple towards the end of the anime and I think more in the manga, but I don't think it's a huge focus. You know?
Like in the manga it said that she only had like romantic things with Tamaki, Kyoya, and Mori Senpai.
Oh, really? I had no idea. I have not read the manga, but
yeah, that's what it said in the manga, that she only actually had like romantic feelings, or it was hinted at romantic feelings for Kyoya and Mori.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I think we should just talk about the characters a little bit, maybe.
I mean, I love the characters.
Yeah. Well, this was the thing I was gonna say. Like, I don't feel the characters they're not unique by any means. They're very
like carbon cut.
Yeah,
copies.
they're stereotypes, but what's nice about them is that it's explained later in the anime why they're the way they are, which is kind of, in my opinion, one of the downsides of this anime. In my opinion, one of the cons is that
like their backstories.
They're very shallow at the beginning. In my opinion, they're very shallow characters, and then later in the anime, the character development like skyrockets. Like episode for you, episode for you, episode for everyone. Like then they all develop, and their development to why they are the way they are makes sense. Like Kyoya is especially, and in my opinion, is the most fascinating backstory. Why he comes from this family that
has high expectations.
He's the third brother in line for this super rich medical family stuff, and he's not going to get any of it. And
so he's got to figure out what to do on his own
to make himself stand out. And it's very interesting why he's the typical not rich. He's the they're all
stoic,
rich. Stoic,
very,
and like he's like the treasurer of the host club. Like that's a good way to put it. He's very money oriented. He's very blunt. He's very like, oh, well, this is what's going to make the ladies happy, so we're going to make this much money. And Haruhi, you
The
broke this
brains.
vase, so you have to, like, pay us off and blah, 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 blah.
As Haru, he says that he's the brains behind the whole operation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you just kind of want to talk about each character?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I love all the characters. I think that all their, like, personalities are they mesh well with what the whole story is. And so, of course, my favorite is always Tamaki, just because he's so extra.
He's there, the heart and soul of the host club, and he is so over the top. He wants to put a smile on everyone's face, which I think is what's such an appeal about him. He is so fascinating for it.
I just like some of the stuff he says throughout the anime and stuff. I'm just like oh my gosh, I can't believe he just said that.
It's so funny. And then like when he like gets his feelings hurt, he just sulks in the corner. I love it. It's very funny. And then
I think one of my most favorite moments of like one of Tamaki's favorite lines and stuff is when he calls like everyone else the homosexual supporting cast.
Oh my, yes, that's so true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he says that like him and Haruhi are the main characters in this drama, and then everyone else is just the homosexual supporting cast.
That's hysterical, honestly. I forgot about that. I love that.
That's one of my favorite lines.
I can't even remember my favorite lines. It's been a while since I watched it. I literally watched this anime not thinking I would enjoy it at all, and then all of a sudden I was like...
Yeah, it was one that I recommended to you.
And I was like, okay, Mo, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to watch this. This seems stupid and girly, blah, 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 but it was really, really good.
I knew Matty would like it just because of the sheer comedy in it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know? Because, like, I feel like people have such a hard time when it comes to animes like this, and they think that it's so girly, and that they don't think about the actual comedy and, like, the different side genre of it, and it's not just,
Not your typical rom-com. It was very fresh for the time. I still say it's fresh for now, too. But, so the host club consists of these 6 guys, right? And then Haruhi.
Mm-hmm.
And so Honey Senpai is...
your Lolita.
But when I first was watching, I thought Honey Senpai would 100% just be the mascot, like that's it. But he's not. Like when you find out his backstory and stuff, it's almost like his behavior and his like go lucky, like adorable behavior is
Lolita
almost,
kind of personality.
Like it's almost liberating, Like he comes from a very, how would you describe his backstory a little bit?
Like a very kind of...
Well, like he's a martial arts family, very strict regiment.
Very strict martial arts family.
Yeah. And then, they come and he's this, and in the host club, he's like the adorable little kid, and it's so cute.
He can kind of like be himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about trying to put up like a tough act.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then like he's almost always followed around by Amori Senpai, which is his cousin, but he's the silent and broody and like
strong type.
But he's also extremely loyal to everyone in the host club, especially Honey Senpai and Haruhi.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell throughout the anime that like literally Honey Senpai is Mori's senpai. That Honey is like Mori's number one priority.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then there's moments where he actually goes to Haruhi over Honey, which I think are very interesting character development points, where he will where Haruhi will be like, save me, and then he'll come in and save him from Honey, and then Honey Senpai will be like, how could you do this to me? And he just like looks down, and Honey is like, stop acting like a child. And like, it's just, he's a very loyal and stoic character, and it's very admirable.
Yeah, definitely. I really want to talk about the Hitachi twins.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I want to talk about the Hitachi twins so much.
Please talk about this.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be honest. When I first watched Ouran, the Hitachi twins gave me secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, I love them though.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
You want to talk about what they are, like what their whole relationship is, and
well, they're twins, and their whole thing is that they have this like forbidden love. Because they are twins and they're brothers.
All the girls love it. They fawn it. They eat it up, and somehow they're like super, like boy love very on each
Boy
other the
love,
whole time.
forbidden brotherhood love, or something like that.
Which is not true. It's just an act the whole
yeah,
time.
it's just an act.
But it's awesome.
But I honestly think that's what really. Honestly, I feel like the Hitachi twins are like what really drives the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
In the
I
whole,
agree. They
you
do
know?
a lot of the monkey gags and stuff is because of them.
They are very much like comic relief when
yes.
it comes to anything.
But also, I feel, other than Kyoya, in my opinion, I feel like they almost had the most interesting backstory because it really brought out the idea of the individual versus and the individual in them. They're always mistaken for each other, and they're always considered. Each one gets confused. But Haruhi is the first person ever to.
Well, and also how like they've like locked themselves in their own little world.
Yeah, exactly. And Haruhi's the one that makes them realize that you can be individuals. She notices that the subtle differences between the two and makes them go on this whole like they roll out of control trying to figure out themselves, and they dye their hair and all this other crazy stuff, and like it's very interesting. I felt like they had very interesting character development.
Yeah, I think definitely like Haruhi and Tamaki were the two people very much in like the Hitachi twins like journey into like opening them up and making them, you know, who they are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what is really weird that I learned the other day?
What?
So you know how in the anime that they call Tamaki boss?
Yeah.
In the manga they call him Milord.
What?
Yeah, they call him Milord in
Oh my
the manga.
I almost love that more than boss.
I know, like when
keep in mind we watched a dub, so it could be in sub. They could refer to him as the.
I don't think they do,
Okay.
but it was so. I was reading the manga the other day, you know, for the first time, and when I think it was like Hikaru or something said Milord in it, I was like, what? I was like, that's so weird. Why do they keep calling him Milord?
Right? I don't know. It's kind of bonkers. But
It's just
yeah. So those are the main cast. It really just revolves around Haruhi fitting into the host club, trying to like swoon
Just
all
live
these
everyday
ladies
life.
and act like a boy, which
pay back her debt.
she's totally fine with. She literally says, which is why I think this is such a good anime, is she's like, well, I don't care if you think I'm a guy or girl. It's about what's in the inside. Like, is that one of the first lines she says, like her first like monologue in the show, when everyone realizes she's a girl, which of course
Yeah,
Tamaki realizes last.
Yeah, she's legit like I don't care if you guys recognize me as a boy or a girl. She's like, I think it's what matters is what's on the inside.
Exactly.
And how a person is.
I think that's why so many people relate so much with this character, because she is so unique in that aspect. Because not every anime has a girl, like a female lead,
Like a strong
that way at
female
all.
lead.
Yeah.
I would consider Haruhi like a very strong female lead.
Exactly, for sure. And then some of the so one of my favorite characters is what's her name? Renge.
Renge.
I love Renge. Every time she enters the gear shift and she just
literally like
elevates on the
otaku
platform.
culture right there.
Oh my gosh, I love it. She's like, how would you describe it? Like, she's trying to be the marketing for the host club, but
She's like
no
their
one wants her
manager.
help. Like, no one wants her help for the management, but she
they
does
just
it
like
anyway.
expect her now.
Yeah,
you know?
she just shows up. She'll elevate from out of the floor and just, it's super over the top.
I always find
I
it
love
super funny when they're all like, where was this
They're
contraption
like,
this whole
where
time?
did she come from? And
Yeah.
Haruhi's always the one that says it. Like, all the other host club members are like, this is normal. And Haruhi is always like, what is going on with you rich people? And she
I
has
always
to,
love it when somebody does something super extra and then Haruhi's like, why is this a thing?
like, what's wrong with you people? Or like when she brought coffee for the first time and everyone's like,
and it was just
fawning
instant
over.
coffee.
They're like, oh my gosh, this is
And they're
amazing.
like, you don't grind your own beans?
And she's like, no, like, we go to the store. And they're like, what's the store?
Well, no. And then they were like, commoners don't have time to grind their own beans.
Exactly. And it's just, it's interesting because Haruhi brings to these super rich and elite host club members, like, what normal life is like. And they understand each other's worlds better. Because you almost would, like, the typical, like, oh, the commoner shows the rich people how commoner life is. But also, like, the rich and elite have a very difficult life too, which Haruhi gets to see more of, because each character in the host club has extremely tough backgrounds that is forced on them because they are very prominent families.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
definitely like that trauma from being in those like prominent families and trying
Exactly.
to live up to expectations.
Yeah, and I found that very interesting that the story went that direction.
So, like, what I love most about this anime is that, as I had said previously in, like, the last episode, that I hate it when they introduce characters that mean nothing to the plot. They don't do anything. They just sit there to get screen time, and they don't really do anything. They don't move the story along. But I like how in Ouran, every character that shows up is there for a purpose to move the story along, you know?
No, yeah, for sure. Like, there's not a single character that is introduced that means nothing. There was that one character, I forget his name, and it's also kind of hard to say. So
Casanova.
Yes, exactly. You knew. He comes from this. I thought his whole story arc was so interesting.
Is it like Yakuza or something?
Yeah, and he pretty much is the leader. Like, he's the new heir of a mob family, but he has such a stoic and mean disposition. Everyone shudders at looking at him, except for Haruhi, who's the first person to not do that. But it's also interesting because his whole story arc is just very entertaining. It's very.
I love
funny.
how the whole thing of like how he fell in love with like Haruhi, but he didn't know that she was like a girl.
Yes,
and that he was like prepared to like be in a gay relationship with Haruhi.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh well, Haruhi's just like, well, I'm a chick, so, and he's just like, oh,
he was like, oh, you know,
it's great, and all he wants to do is play kick the can with his friends. And that's all he wants to do. And the whole mob has to like, oh my gosh, we'll do it for you, sir. And
what was Tamaki's kick name? Starlight Kick.
Yes. I was like, they started playing Kick the Can. I'm like, what is Kick the Can? Like, is this some reference I should know? Apparently it's a game people play. Yeah. Like, wow. Kick the Can is a D&D reference for me and my friends that play D&D with me. And if they are all listening to this, they will understand immediately what I'm referring to. I'll probably edit this part out because I don't know. I'm a weeb and a geek and a nerd in every aspect. It's fine.
But definitely I definitely think character development is definitely one of their like strongest.
Yeah, which once again I personally feel that it didn't really do a ton of character development till the end. But I think it worked for the anime because it kept people listening till the end.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like, you see, like, different characters as, like, you go along, you know, like, develop more and more. Like, you can definitely tell from the end and the beginning that they're completely different characters.
Yeah, and
you know?
mean, the host club pretty much, they're just helping all these other people. Like, they're helping the girls that come there that really need help, and then they're helping all the different guys that associate with the host club or are around. But, in my opinion, I think what was the best aspect of this anime was the visuals and the different styles that were used in it.
Oh, yeah. Continue.
Because it was so unique because, like, it was just a very wacky anime. So, like, they did over-the-top things. Like, there was arrows that would point at major, like, plot points. Like, before the vase breaks in the first episode, there's arrows pointing at it the whole time to let the audience know, like, something fun. Like, this is a big thing. It's going to happen. But also, like...
Tamaki eroding away.
Right? And, like, I mean, this kind of became a little too much for me personally, but I know a lot of people like this, is that anytime there was a subtle joke, there was literally like, they would make a caption pop up to kind of explain the joke, which I personally wasn't a huge fan of, but...
I'm going to be honest, when it comes to me and like Japanese jokes, you know, it's like, I don't really quite understand them, you know? Like, especially like dad jokes or something like that, you know? What was I was watching something the other day. I think it was like, it's not Japanese, but it was like a Korean reality show or like a talk show or something like that. And I think one of the hosts or something said like a dad joke, you know, and I was like, oh, I don't really understand it, you know?
You're like, I'm sorry.
I can't laugh at it.
Everyone else is laughing. You're over here like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, I didn't understand it.
But, so the animation is very unusual in the aspect that it, like, the frames focus on odd things. So, like, legs in the foreground, like, over the exaggerated emphasis on, like, hands and stuff. Like, it's not your typical anime or animation style where you're, like, focus on, like, one character flip to the next one. Like, they'll have all the characters in the same frame, which is very unusual and why I liked Ouran High School Host Club so much, why it stuck out so much to me. And then, like, they had these tropes they incorporated, like the roses, constantly. The roses.
Oh, the roses, like, around, like, Tamaki's face when it was, like, you know...
whenever
princely moment.
yes,
or
and
like
they just use roses so much, and they use these pink overtones the entire time, and which I felt was very interesting. But they also incorporated such interesting like shadow dynamics and stuff, which it wasn't necessary. Like
yeah,
for
definitely.
this type of anime, you could have got away with like focus only one character in a scene. You don't have to focus on these unusual frames and stuff, but they did incorporate that, which I felt added to the wackiness and the unusual nature of Ouran High School Host Club, which was its humor.
I mean, definitely. Like, if you think back to the thunderstorm scene with Tamaki and Haruhi,
Oh yeah,
you know, like when Haruhi's in the closet and stuff. Like, I thought that scene was beautifully
like she's
well
literally
done.
in a closet.
Well,
Not
and like when she
figuratively.
like jumps out to Tamaki when the thunder hits, you know, I thought that honestly that scene was beautifully done. Like, it was
I
like
agree.
really cool, you know. I do think though it is a 2006 anime, you know, and like definitely if we got any more, like if we got like a second season, I definitely think the first season would need to be remastered first
Oh, yeah,
before we
for
got a
sure.
second season.
Because it's not like in 2006 this was top notch animation. Like it was 2006 animation. Like it fits all the other shows that came out around that time. You know, like it would definitely need to be remastered. Which I don't think there ever will be a second season. I'm sorry. If you want to talk about that, you can.
Yeah, I'm super upset. I remember finishing it and thinking, oh, I need to go find like the second season, you know, because there's definitely going to be a second season. They like left us on a cliffhanger, you know.
Well, I think also an interesting thing that needs to be talked about is that wasn't a canon ending at all. Like
oh no, it
it was an
wasn't.
alternative anime ending. Which okay, there's some people out there that literally will hate on every single type of uncanon ending. If it's not what was written in the manga, then everyone hates it. But in my opinion, it could have been worse. Like it wasn't amazing by any means, but it wasn't bad either, if that makes sense.
No, but I hate how they just kind of they left the story open for it to continue, but then they chose not to continue.
Well, okay, so what makes me the most upset about the ending is that what I found out while researching this is, so okay, I mean this isn't there's no spoilers in this anime. So at the very end, they have this huge like expo of what they were doing at all their like clubs, and all of the families come, and so all the host club members' members come, and Kiyoya's dad comes, and in it, so pretty much Tamaki's grandma's a bitch. We'll just leave it at that. She's kind of the worst. She's demanding him to like go back to France, right? I'm pretty sure, and like that's
marry this like
marry this girl, which I didn't mind her at all. Like she was an interesting character, but
I mean, I didn't like how she took Tamaki away from Haruhi,
well,
but you know,
but I think it wasn't a terrible character.
no.
What I hated was that Kiyoya's dad slapped him. In the manga, that doesn't happen. In the manga, he supports Kiyoya and is almost like, you know what, you might become the new heir to our family wealth and everything. And it was an unnecessary change that didn't need to be done. And that's the only thing I have an issue with it. Other than that, I thought the ending was fine. Like, I didn't mind it. But that for me, rubbed me the wrong way. Because it was unnecessary drama they added to it.
I don't know. I was mad that we didn't get a kiss at the end.
But, I mean, yes.
It's romance. It's a romance drama.
But
anime,
I also don't...
You know, and I feel like, and especially because that is basically its main genre is romance, you know, and the fact that it went through 26 episodes and we didn't get anything but like a hug between the two main characters is what really like irks me.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's one of those things. It's like, oh, read the manga, you'll get more out of it.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
it's
blah.
a definitely read the manga,
which I don't
anime.
like, but also in a way I kind of feel that it's fitting for the anime because it's not the type of anime to.
Though I would feel like I feel like if it did get a remastered and a second season, it would do extremely well.
I don't know. I loved Ouran High School Host Club. It had a lot of comedy I enjoyed. It did not age well at all.
I will agree with that. That comedy would have to be rewritten.
So Harui's mother dies when she's younger, and after she passed away, and I don't know if it talks more in the manga, but so Harui's dad is a cross-dresser, which they make a lot of jokes about it, and like
about him being like a transvestite, which
Yeah.
that word would definitely not fly nowadays.
Exactly. Like, and it's for when it came out, I understood the jokes, but it just kind of took me off guard. And like, I'm not easily offended by those kind of jokes and stuff, but also like I don't live in that culture, so I wouldn't understand. But like if they did a remastered version, they would have to rewrite that because it would be very offensive. But I also am very against censorship, and if that's the source material,
I feel like that it would be fine to rewrite the jokes. It wouldn't be that hard.
It's just more for those people that would be offended by that. Like, keep in mind that this anime does make those kind of jokes and stuff. So, but keep in mind this came out in 2006, but the manga was written before that, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like a 90s manga.
Yeah, so like you have to keep in mind the culture of the time, which is what I always had to remind myself while watching it. But I don't feel a lot of those jokes would have aged well, and if they did come out with a second season, I feel like it'd be very controversial. On top of that, they couldn't use the same voice actors and stuff for it. Certain voice actors wouldn't want to sign on, or some of them are not allowed to sign off and sign on again to redo it. And I just personally don't think a second season will ever happen because of that.
I don't think it is either. I gave up hope probably a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I did some research, and a lot of rumors are going around. They're like, oh, this studio might be doing a new anime.
Well, I think the reason that they're doing that is because Fruits Basket got it remastered.
Yeah, and I think that was what it is. And if it got like the Brotherhood treatment and did get remastered, I think it would be really, really good. But they wouldn't be able to use all the same voice actors like they did in Brotherhood. So,
yeah, and I think especially with like an anime like this that has such a very wide fan base, and so many different aged fans, is that they would have to use the original dub and Japanese voices.
Yeah, and keep in mind, once again, Mo and I watched this both dub. So, of course, our comments are going to be about the dub cast when we talk about voice actors. So I'm sorry for strictly sub fans. We won't really talk about that much, but especially this dub cast was like all-star. Like every single voice actor for the main 7 characters was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and each one of them is
like Caitlin Glass. Iconic. Caitlin Glass playing Harui was perfect. She did so well with it, and she was also the ADR director for the dub release, and so
Todd Haberkorn, and then Greg Aris as the Hitachi twins.
It was very,
and then Michael T. Tatum.
Yeah, for sure.
Michael T. Tatum or Michael J. Tatum?
It's J. Michael Tatum.
J. Michael Tatum.
Yeah,
I thought it was Michael.
I did too, and then I did research and realized his name was not what I thought it was all this time. So sorry, J. Michael Tatum. I think is your name. If not, I apologize. He's not listening to us, so it doesn't matter. I don't know why any of you guys are listening to us, but thank you so much. I love you.
But no, definitely. I definitely think it has like an all-star dub cast, And if you think about it at that point, dub wasn't really a thing for anime, And so having and when you think about it, that when that was actually like dubbed, that those were like all newbies, when it came to dubbing anime.
I mean, it pretty much took. It was pretty much the same cast that did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and they literally just moved over and did Ouran. So that was, well, I guess Ouran came first, but anyway. But something that did not get dubbed well was the opening and the ending, which there's a English and Japanese version, and most animes don't have an English version, and I think this is a good reason why. Like, I think Ouran High School Host Club is a good reason why English covers are not good.
Rising of the Shield Hero English version opening, true. I like that one.
But that's like very recent, 2019. But like I feel like this almost was the reason why so many shows didn't do that anymore, because like it's so bad. Like I listened to the Japanese opening, I'm like, this is pretty good. And then I listened to English, and I literally was cringing the entire time.
Yeah, it's very cringy.
And the ending is worse. It's I'm sorry. It's not a bad opening.
But it's such an iconic opening.
It is very, very iconic. I love it.
Like
I mean, anytime it pops up on like a YouTube, Guess That Anime Opening Quiz, which Mo and I do way too many of, way too many of. You
we can
always
get it
know.
within like the first second.
We're like, oh yeah, after the first kiss, we're like, oh yeah, there he is.
Kiss, kiss, fall in love.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's when I fall for it, you know.
When
But-
you want to kiss, kiss, fall in love, but get a hug, hug, fall in love.
oh no, too soon.
Too
Actually,
soon.
no, it's not. It's been 15 years. Oof, we're old.
Oh yeah.
Or this is old.
Though I didn't originally watch it until I was like in 7th grade.
That's fair. But yeah, so I feel like that's pretty much Ouran High School Host Club. Anything else you really want to say about it?
I honestly think that we covered pretty much everything. I mean, it doesn't really have that much of a plot other than just daily hijinks of like Haruhi trying to pay back her debt. I think it's more just like about the characters
And
and
I mean,
about
it's interesting because she's trying to pay back this debt, but she ends up falling in love with this family. She realizes, because her character is socially awkward and only focuses on school and has had to grow up very early because of her mom dying and having to work and being a commoner is kind of how they portray her. But through the host club, she gains social skills because she is socially awkward and her comments are very hysterical for it, in my
like
opinion.
the host club like becomes her family.
Exactly. And even her dad like realizes that and stuff. Like he like realizes that the host club, it means this much to her, which he didn't even realize she was in it because she kind of keeps her entire life private. But
It's very good for beginners.
exactly,
If you're wanting to get into that shoujo romance type of anime, then this is definitely a really good one.
yeah, I agree. I would recommend it. Like, I definitely watched it not thinking I would like it at all, and then I was like, Mo was like, "Please watch it. This is so good." We watched the first episode with my roommate Sean, and we were like, "This."
You
is...
both kind of looked at me like I was crazy.
Like, we're like, same thing with Madoka Magica. We were both like, okay, Mo, like, why are you trying to make us watch this? And then I was watching it as background music, like for like doing homework, and eventually I had to just watch the show. I had to switch the show because I couldn't just do it while doing homework because I actually enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed their shenanigans, and
it's like you get into it, and like
Yeah.
it's like you just kind of can't help but like watch.
oh, for sure, I would love for there to be another season, but I don't think there should be at this point. It's too late. They couldn't use, they can't use Vic for Tamaki's voice actor. They'd have to replace him, which he's too iconic for the role. I think too many people would be upset with. I don't think it would be done justice.
Well, because Tamaki's voice actor is just he's one of the most iconic
Yeah,
in that
and,
anime,
like,
and so
that's why I don't think a second season will ever be possible. Is because
they would
he's
just have
not
to
able
find
do it.
somebody that could do Tamaki's voice.
Justice.
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a tricky.
it's kind of like with
topic.
like Fruits Basket and stuff. Like most of the cast signed back on to do dub, you know, but there were like a few people that they had to change voice actors for,
Yeah.
you know, and so like some people were like, "What? Like what the heck?" You know.
But I mean, it's been what, 15 years almost. Like, people have moved on. They are doing other projects. Some people might not even want to do it anymore. Like, some people might not
Though-
like the show.
In my opinion, of what I've seen more than not is that actually people do want to do it. You know?
I agree. I think the most the cast would want to do it again, but it's just there's a lot of factors into that. So that's a big reason why the second season I feel is not possible. But that's just me. But yeah. Oh, I
But-
forgot to mention. So you can watch Ouran High School Host Club on Funimation, Hulu, Crunchyroll, and Netflix, I believe, right?
Mhm.
Okay. But yeah, pretty much anywhere. So if you
Yeah,
want to watch Ouran.
it's such a popular anime that it's basically on any streaming site.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to take it away, Mo? Like, end this episode for us?
Yeah, thank you everyone who definitely stayed until the end of this. I know these two, parts were extremely long, but
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're getting a better hang of it even after just one episode.
yeah, definitely. I think we've kind of got a groove going,
Yeah.
which thank you so much for tuning in. Please support us in any way possible,
Once again, just make
Continue
comments.
watching.
Yeah. Just keep binging our little bingies. Love
Yep.
that. We're going to call you guys.
Definitely
I like that.
Tell
Bingies?
us about anime that you guys have binged, recently.
'Cause, we need stuff to watch right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I would love to just talk to you guys about different animes you like watching. And I mean, I'm assuming most of you guys listening to us, we probably already talked to you guys about this, but just reach out to us. I will be more than happy to talk to you guys. But yeah, I guess we should probably include our social media plugs right now because we haven't talked about that yet. So Mo, do you kind of want to talk about that?
yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter. We're primarily on Instagram, you know, the
Yeah,
gram.
just comment, like, subscribe to us. We would love to talk to you guys about animes and all that stuff. We just love to talk to people about anime and
Let us know what anime
suggestions.
you're binging.
Yeah, like what you want us to do as well. Like if you guys want to do some different types of like episodes, different types of structure, if you guys want us to do like top 10s and stuff, and whatever feedback, any feedback is great feedback at this point. So.
Make sure you download this podcast though.
Yeah, we would love the little downloads. We don't normally like talking about that kind of stuff, but it really helps us out to know what platforms you guys are listening to and where we should like focus more of our energy on and stuff. But yeah.
All right, so we're going to do our music recommendation
yes.
for this part.
All right.
You want to go?
Do you want me to go first?
You go first
Where
this
is
time.
it? Okay. So, I just finished Fire Force, right? And I really liked it. Like, it was a really good anime, but the opening to this, the first opening for Fire Force, the second one was really good too, but it was phenomenal. And it's called Inferno by Miss Green Apple, and it's the Fire Force season 1 opening. And it's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's very hype. It's like the vocal range of the artist is very impressive. And like every time I hear it, I can picture the opening sequence. And it gives me goosebumps each time because it's so good. But I don't think I've had you listen to it a couple times.
Oh yeah, it's on my playlist.
Oh yeah. Like it's in Japanese and it's like written in the character. What is it called? What are the characters called? Kanji. It's written in kanji. In Spotify, so I just googled Fire Force season 1 opening, and it's by Miss Green Apple because there's a couple English bands that do English covers of it, which you can listen to if you want. But I do like the Miss Green Apple version the best. But that's my recommendation. What about you?
My anime song recommendation is "Love Dynamic" from Kaguya-sama.
That's
Love
so
is
good.
War. I have been listening to this one nonstop. I think that it's just got like an awesome sound to it. It's very jazzy. It's, I definitely think from Hikari Yare and this one, it's very two different versions, but they get the job done.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's very notable. It's very good. When I was looking for it on Spotify, I couldn't find the original version. It was just a bunch of covers by other Japanese voice vocal artist, but
I found this one that I honestly, no offense or anything, I think it's honestly better sounding than the original. I don't remember what his actual name is. I found one.
It was like Mira Jama or something like that.
I think that we're listening to the same one
because I like that one a lot.
Mira. It's like Mira Jam.
Yeah, because he does a lot. Like he did.
I honestly think it sounds better than the original. You know.
I do too. Like I end up keeping that one out of all the options on it, but it was very good. I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, I did too. I think that it was. I think his voice is just a little bit deeper, and so it fits into it a little bit better.
Well. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think we kind of covered it all.
Yeah, I think it was a good episode.
Yeah, I think it was a really good episode.
Yeah, for sure. But so pretty much, we didn't really want to pick next anime to watch because that was going to be too stressful. But if you guys give us recommendations, we probably will do those. So for the weeks we don't have recommendations, we're just going to draw from this bag of animes we've watched, and we'll do whatever recommendation we pull. So, do you want me to do?
Drum roll, please.
Oh gosh, Mo's drawing. Okay.
I'm drawing this anime we are
gonna do next week. I
reviewing.
don't know if I want to know this.
Monthly Girls no Zaki-kun.
I've been saying this.
I know you haven't.
This is gonna be rough, guys.
You can watch it. I think it's only like 13 episodes.
Oh.
It's really good. I promise.
Okay, well, tune in for next week where we talk about Monthly Girl Sensaku. What is it?
No Zaki-kun.
I was close.
Kawasaki-kun.
Well, that's what
we're draw for a different one.
No, it's fine. We'll do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. What is it even about?
So it's about.
Give us a. What is it? A
preview.
Preview.
It's about this girl who's in love with this guy, and this guy, he's like a manga artist, but he's very dense, and like she literally in the first episode like confesses her feelings to him. He doesn't understand.
So is this like a very popular one, or is this very like underground?
No, it's more underground. It's definitely more underground.
Yeah, because that's another thing, guys. We're not really gonna like be restricted to a certain genre of anime. Like, we're not just gonna do shonen. We're not just gonna do rom-com. We're gonna do both mainstream, underground, a little bit of everything. So, just to let you guys know. Wait, are you putting it back in there?
I already put it back in there.
What? No, Mo. What are you doing? It's okay, but. Yeah, so tune in next week. That's what we're going to be doing. And we also will be doing a little something special next week, too, which we still need to talk about. Well, thank you, guys. Our Benjis. I'm definitely calling you guys Benjis now. I love that. I'm sorry. I don't know if you like it, Mo, but I'm keeping it.
You do you.
Okay, I'm keeping it. But you guys just keep binging, watching that anime.
Definitely. Thanks for watching, guys. And we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.